Hi, I'm Michael Welch, President and CEO of Rocky Mountain High Brands. Welcome to this week's podcast. Today we're going to start out with an update from Christian Vega. Christian.
How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, working hard.
I know that.
Not hardly working, but working hard.
Well, can you update me and our shareholders on our private label agreement with CBD Alimentos?
Sure. The documentation was submitted. There was an additional documents that needed to be submitted as well. We turned those in, and it went to our regulatory affairs consultant. Her name is Alicia Mata. She was hired by our client in Mexico to proceed to make the procedure a lot faster. And so it was in review, doing throughout this process, and it's now in the government's hands. So we're just...
She reviews everything before it goes to the
government.
FDA, their FDA.
Yeah, COFEPRIS,
Okay.
which is
I
the
can't
Mexican
pronounce
FDA.
that, right.
With me, COFEPRIS.
I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, she was brought out to the team in Mexico because, again, we were going back and forth. And I like people to understand that this is a new standard that the Mexican government is adding to their system, right?
Right.
The CBD industry came in through the medical purpose, through the medical side.
Right.
There's no standard for beverages, edibles, gummies. There's no standard, sort of kind of like the FDA in the United States. And so I don't know how to say it, because I don't want to sound, overconfident and whatnot, but we're basically making history because we will be the first ones with this permits. We'll be the first ones. Basically, we're writing the standards with them. And so it's been a lengthy process, mainly because of that. If the standard was already in place and we had a checklist, it would have been a lot smoother and faster and easier. But because they were going back and forth, and I mean the government was going back and forth saying, no, we don't really need this documentation. And then saying, but we need this documentation. And so it's been an ongoing process with them. But again, we're literally making history in the COFEPRIS regulations in Mexico, because we'll be the first ones with the permits. And so every day is a curveball. Just recently they asked us to do if we had an aging test to it, or is what's called an acceleration shelf life test to it, and that was not anywhere near part of the system or part of the standards. But luckily we do have a documentation on our products that our attorney's working on, David, and drafted a letter saying this is a 2-year shelf life on our can and our products, and he's got all that information. So we were covered, but those are the curveballs that we've been getting hit lately.
So once it's in COFEPRIS.
Very good, COFEPRIS. We should do this in Spanish. Vamos a empezar. Señor Miguel, ¿nos puede decir qué es lo que usted opina sobre las COFEPRIS?
Donde a la biblioteca.
Very good. See, that's not going to get you anywhere.
That's all I remember.
Great.
So I can find the library.
There you go.
Once it's in their hands.
In the government's hands?
Yes.
Once it's in the government hands, obviously they're going to do their own review, check and balance. And I believe we have filled every single hole that this standard has been created. If they happen to find another one, they'll let us know.
Right.
But I don't feel like they will. It's just now a matter of time. It's in their hands. So
it's out of our control.
Absolutely.
It's out of our client's control.
It's absolutely. So COFEPRIS goes to our client and says, this is what you're missing, this is what you need, and this is what we require. We're going to go with this. And
so the whole process has changed during the length that we've had this contract.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we're literally writing the standard with Mexico.
Okay.
And so we are going to be the company who's done that with them. And it's something to take a lot of pride on. I mean, because there was a standard for, I'll give you Red Bull and Monster. There's some limitations of caffeine that goes into Mexico for different purposes, mainly for taxation.
Right.
Red Bull does not want to pay an extra 25% of tax if their drink is above 90 mgs of caffeine per their servings.
Right.
And so those standards we worked on because we utilized them as well. But that was it. And so then after that, it came the CBD standards, nutritional panel. Is there any nutrients to CBD? What are they? We'll break down the ingredients of that. It's been a very lengthy process.
So in the meantime, it's my understanding they've asked us to work on a couple of other drinks for them.
Yes. So I just recently got 2 additional formulas from them, and it's one of their clients who's working with them, who's are looking at our drink, basically looking at the Rocket High, and knowing the length of the process, knowing how long it's been taking, knowing the process of the R&D, how long it does take. They went ahead and issued 2 formulas to him, encoded, encrypted, and then they were sent to us. And technically, I'm the only one who's got access to those 2 formulas at this point. And it's two, I can't say a lot, but it's 2 formulas that would also be beverages. I mean, that gives you an idea. And they want us to work with the CBD that we're working with.
Right.
And introduce the CBD and rebrand those 2 drinks for our Mexico client.
Okay.
Keep in mind that our client has a database and a Rolodex like Oscar's, probably the size of a building. And so somebody from another company, very recognized company, it's a worldwide company who went up to our client and said, "Hey, I want a part of that. I want to see what you guys are working." And he actually set up a phone call, and Oscar and I took the phone call, and we were shocked who it was. We can't disclose it, obviously, guys. I apologize for that, but please be patient with us. As soon as they allow me to disclose it, we'll be right here with you guys, letting you guys who it is. But we're gonna start the process. We're working all the R&D. We have a sort of a blueprint now ourselves, how to fill how to do the permit paperwork, what they're going to be what the requirements will be. And so this whole 8-9 months that we've been working with has just opened a door for our next clients, And so our client did ask, "Can you guys handle this? Or you guys, I got people knocking on my door, wanted to, get to meet you guys." And we said, absolutely. If it's going through you, absolutely. So understand that these guys are not buying a few 100,000 cans or a purchase order of 100,000. I mean, they're buying millions,
right.
And so it needs to be perfected to the T, because we don't want any snafus, anything going, before it crosses borders. And plus, I mean, we provided the best service as far as R&D, customer service, all the regulatory affairs. We've been asking our flavor houses for paperwork that they know is big, because they know, why, what do you need this for? And we're like, well, it's crossing borders. Oh, wow, it's that big, huh? Great, let me send you the information you need. And so letters of certification of their ingredients. I mean, we got letters from China in Chinese. We have letters from our flavor houses that they know it's a big deal if we're required those letters, because they know it's going to go out of the country.
Right.
So it's certifying that the ingredients, it is what it is on the ingredients. So we get everybody excited. All people, even our flavor guy Chris came by and we went out to eat, and he's pumped. He's like, "Man, everybody's talking about it in the office. We can't wait to get those big purchase orders from you guys," because we had to give them numbers of what we're looking at so they can get ready for it, because all of our ingredients will be created 10 to 15 days before. They're all done fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So they're big orders. And so we had to share that with them. And they're pumped about it. So
great.
That's kind of where we at.
All right. Well, let's switch to the U.S. And since you had me sign a purchase order this week, let's talk about the production of the hemp CBD infused flavored beverages that we've been working on.
So we've been working on this Mexico R&D, and we sort of piggy right with them for our own drinks, you know, for the hemp waters, infused CBD waters that we got going on. The pineapple, have you released those? Pineapple.
We have. We've shown the actual cans, and we've talked about that on this show. So when I had Michelle on the show a couple of weeks ago, or I guess last week, we actually showed the cans and the flavors and the images. So
great. Sorry, I kind of work in the back door, so I do, you know, whatever I'm asked. But so we have production dates right now set up. We have cans, ingredients, everything's been lined up, and hopefully have it in about a couple of weeks, maybe.
Right.
The most.
So the production date is September the 24th?
24th and 25th, what we have going on right now. In case, you know, whether something happens, the truck gets hold back, something. You know, there's always something. I hate to tell people dates and then we don't come through. And then, you know, they hold us to their feet to the fire. But understand that this is not an easy process. We're going to be the guys with the drinks who can legitimately say, I have 5 mgs, there's 5 mgs. And if not more. So that's been a research itself. It's been a lot of work itself as well. And we have about 4 or 5 ideas right behind it that we can't wait to get them out on the market too. So
we're excited about that.
Yeah, so one of them that we talked about, our Mexico client was very interested, and one of their providers for our ingredients is very interested as well, saying, "Hey, I'll take that one.
Okay,
I like that one.
We like that idea.
You're like, great.
We like that.
No problem. So
great. Well, good. Well, thank you for the update. I appreciate that. So
thanks for having me. I hope I can answer as much questions and give you as much information as much as I possibly can. As you know, I haven't delivered all the information from those 2 new formulas that we have. You've seen some of it, but not all of it. And so please understand that Michael is not always, you know, the target here. I just want to make that clear because I don't get to see a lot of this stuff until recently where I'm seeing.
I'm going to have you on here more often. I get clearer answers from you when I have you here on a camera than I do at the office.
I mean, I got 20 things going on at the same time. And then there again, you are by the window, you know, and this is my sign. So, no, it's been an ongoing process, so and it's exciting. Our client in Mexico cannot wait to get this done. They cannot wait. I mean, we had a conference call with them, and you know, he gave us a little bit of a tour of his office in Mexico. So you know, it can't get no more real than that. You know, these guys are legit, and they know what they're doing, and they've been very patient. I mean, they said it. This is going on for 8-9 months, and they wanted to launch this back in March 2018. I mean, they were pumped about it, but again, it's not like I told him that one time. It is rocket science. Literally, it is rocket science. So it wasn't an easy process. So, you know, maybe we can get him next time.
Okay.
I'll call him up and say, hey, we might need you to come in through Skype and introduce yourself since we're so close to the time. I mean, I don't see why not. So we'll see what we can do there.
Okay, great. We'll look forward to it. All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Well, we have another guest joining us, one of the newest members of our team, Erik Rothchild. Erik is joining us via Skype today. This is our first Skype guest, and Erik is the president and founder of FitWhey. Erik, how are you today?
Michael, I'm doing great. Christian, thanks for the update. I'm glad to hear everything's moving forward with that.
Thanks, Erik. Good to see you guys, too.
So, Erik, I like to tell everybody that you're a walking billboard for the FitWhey brand.
I am. I'm always geared up. I've got the FitWhey hat on, the FitWhey shirt on. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. If you see me driving around, I've got an F-150 all logoed up. My kids are embarrassed by it, but it's great advertising, great work.
Well, you're doing something right if you're embarrassing your kids. So tell us about FitWhey and how you got started with FitWhey, what the idea was, and how you originated all of this.
Yeah, you know, Michael, I'll tell you, FitWhey, here's a look at the orange cream. I'm drinking one myself. I'm going to head to the gym here in a little bit. I drink it as a pre and during workout drink. You know, I never ever thought I'd be in the beverage business. I graduated from college. I spent time in the United States Army to pay for college. I went the route of sales and marketing, the corporate world, and I've always stayed fit. I'll be 52 in a couple months, and I still work out pretty much daily. I'm involved in a lot of sports, and health and nutrition was always very important to me. And about 10 or 11 years ago, I started reading a lot of the fitness magazines about the benefits of pre-workout protein. Forever in the fitness world, it's always been known, hey, do you have a protein shake after you work out? Protein after you worked out. But as I said, about 10 or 11 years ago, the fitness industry started writing articles about consuming whey protein before and during the gym. The concept was if you're using a clean whey isolate protein, which is the fastest absorbing protein you can ingest, you're going to be building and repairing your muscles while you're breaking them down. So 10, 11 years ago, my kids were much younger. I was employed in the corporate world, and the only time I could work out was 5 a.m. And I wanted to, when I would wake up, I wanted to go to the gym, but I wanted some energy. So I wanted a caffeine source, but I also wanted to add protein to it with what I was reading to have a little bit of protein and caffeine. And I didn't really want to make a plate of eggs and drink a cup of coffee, wait for that to digest. So I kind of fooled around in my kitchen with a blender and my own sort of beverage that I made. At the time, I would use either coffee as the caffeine or I would use a sugar-free energy drink. I'd add a few strawberries to it to make it taste better. And then I just scoop in whey protein powder that you buy in the tubs. And I made my own combination of a protein drink with caffeine. I'd drink it, go to the gym, have a great workout. As a consumer, I would look for that combination on the shelves. And as simple as protein and caffeine sounds, nobody put it together. It was all these protein drinks. It was all these caffeinated drinks. And one day I kind of had my aha moment and I'm like, it just makes perfect sense. So I formulated my first drink 10, 11 years ago. And I would take samples into the gym and ask people what they thought about the concept of the drink. And everybody was really super positive about it. So that's kind of how I started on the journey of launching a drink where I never thought I would. Protein, caffeine is a very unique combination in a water-based beverage. FitWhey now is all formulated to be natural, use natural flavors, natural colors, natural sweeteners. There's only 3 grams of pure cane sugar plus stevia in every bottle to sweeten it, so it tastes phenomenal. We have fruity flavors. I went a little different direction. Everything on the market was shake-based. And as a pre and during workout drink, if that's how you choose to use it, you don't want to drink a heavy shake, go to the gym, you're kind of weighted down. So I used a water-based formula. And with that, I went opposite direction of the typical strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla flavors and launched more fruitier flavors. For example, I'm drinking the orange cream, tastes identical to an orange creamsicle. We have berry, we have lemonade, we have grape, and we have one caffeine-free fruit punch flavor. So there are fruity flavors that resonates with both men and women. Really important distinction is, and this is what I found over the years of doing all kinds of sampling events, and I've probably sampled 25,000 consumers myself individually, where I get feedback, is that guys will drink anything if you think it's going to add a little bit of muscle. Women, taste buds, everything. They have to like something that tastes good. Right. And about 50% of our consumers it's male, it's female. So it's a really interesting, unique protein drink. We add a cup of coffee worth of caffeine to it with fruity flavors that taste really good.
So let me ask you a question. Like over my lifetime, I've evolved in terms of working out. I've gone through a period of time where I trained for a marathon in my mid-40s. So I did a lot of running. And then I got out of that, and I spent a lot of time in the gym doing exactly what you're doing in my 50s. And then I got into yoga. And so I did yoga for about 10 years. I did, the Bikram style yoga for 10 years. So would FitWhey work for all of those type of workouts, or are you specifically centered on the people that are really focused on the gyms?
Yeah, great question. FitWhey's for everybody. You don't even have to work out to drink FitWhey because every human being needs protein every day of their life.
Right.
It's essential to our living. It's like drinking water. FitWhey works differently for me. So I lift weights, I box, I run, I sprint. So I do a lot of different types of activities. As I said, I drink it when I work out. So it's kind of my pre, post, and during workout drink. But it's really morphed into it's a phenomenal weight loss product because it has 20 grams of whey protein, only 5 grams of carbs. It's fat free. There's only 100 calories. It is the perfect first thing in the morning drink. You know, our tagline is live life the fit way. And that really kind of encompasses anybody every day, whether you're hardcore, workout, bodybuilder, weekend warrior, whether you do yoga, you bike, you hike, you swim, you simply walk around the block, or you just want something that tastes good, that gives you a little bit of nutrition. It really is for everybody.
So if I was trying to lose a few pounds, could I drink a FitWhey instead of eating a meal? Could I use it as a meal replacement?
Well, this is what I recommend when I get that question a lot, is that it's not technically a meal replacement because it doesn't have the amount of carbs. There's only 5 grams of carbs. Right. But if you wake up in the morning and you have a FitWhey and maybe a piece of fruit, that takes you to lunch. It's
okay.
A perfect way to cut down some of the calories, some of the carbs that you're consuming to start on a weight loss program. An interesting little sidebar, and I've learned a lot about this through the consumers that have been buying FitWhey, and I've gotten to know some of the people who've repeat business online and why they continue to order. But those who've had gastric bypass surgery, who go through great weight loss and they go through surgery to do it, they're very strict on their diet. They have to stick to a very specific diet post-surgery. FitWhey fits perfectly into the diet because protein is one of those that's hard to get without adding a lot of high fats and calories and carbs and sugars. And with FitWhey, as I said, you only get 5 grams of carbs, only 3 grams of sugar, only 100 calories. So not only does it fit great in with those that have the gastric bypass surgery, but all the really popular diet plans now, the keto, the paleo, those that follow their macros, which is counting your macronutrients, your fats, calories, and your proteins and your carbs.
Right.
FitWhey fit perfectly in all of those.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So tell us, did you have a question? Are you just fidgeting?
No, I had a question. I mean, this is very interesting stuff, and I talked to Erik before, but what about kids, Erik? I mean, the big marker right now as far as protein is for young athletes, and you hear a lot how young athletes are really focusing on being fit for obviously for American football, for soccer, sports, right? And so I do know that my own experience, my son is a soccer player, and they make him eat protein every night before the games and cross country and whatnot. Is this a drink that'd be suitable for kids as well?
Yeah, great question, Kristen. And like you, I was a soccer dad too. My 18-year-old played for the last 14 years of her life. So I've been around youth sports and nutrition with youth sports for a long time. And funny that you asked that, because the one thing I found out when I would go and set up at these sampling events, because of the sweetness of the fruity flavors of FitWhey, kids absolutely just loved the taste of FitWhey. But because it has a cup of coffee worth of caffeine in each bottle, you don't really want to give an 8-year-old a cup of coffee worth of caffeine. So we created our first caffeine-free version. It's a fruit punch, and it is as clean and natural as it gets. It's like there's 20 grams of protein in it. It's a fruit punch flavor, so kids love the taste. There's only 3 grams of pure cane sugar in the entire bottle. So it's really almost like getting your kids to eat a couple eggs and a glass of milk, but with a lot less, sugars and carbs in it. So we did create a caffeine-free version specifically for kids.
Great.
That's great. So
you're right, Kristen, you're absolutely right about that. Is the market for kids and protein is really kind of like an open space. It really is exploding. If you see a lot of the consumer packaged goods, simply Cheerios, for example, had a protein version. Yogurts now, even Go-Gurt for kids has a protein version. So you're starting to see it trickle down into other consumer packaged goods.
Yeah, my son he's been playing soccer since he was 4 years old, and he's 15 years old now. And I coached him throughout probably 10 years until he was probably 11 or 12, and then he went into more of a competitive soccer level. And he actually was invited to go and do a tryout with a Mexican soccer team this summer in Monterrey, Mexico. Unfortunately, if he didn't go because if he went, then he would lose his scholarship at a Catholic school that he's in right now. So it was a hard decision, but going to soccer meetings and soccer association meetings, they're recommending for kids to drink Armor or some other drink, and we said no, and that's what I was talking about. Like, there's got to be a better option than that, than just sugar, because they are finding ways to get this to the kids, and this is a great drink for that.
Absolutely. So here in Phoenix, where we're headquartered, where we're based out of Phoenix, FitWhey, we actually sponsor a couple youth leagues, a youth football league and a Channel Little League, a baseball league where we sponsor them. We go out, we sample at their different events. We introduce FitWhey to the parents and to the kids, and it's always a really big success.
So, Erik, tell us how you came to Rocky Mountain High.
Sure. It's kind of full circle. You know, when I first launched my brand 10, 11 years ago, actually it was 11 years ago, as I said, I was never in the beverage business. I didn't know anything about it. I was just a fit guy who's been in sales and marketing, but I needed to learn about the industry. And I found a consultant who had a background within Coca-Cola who really kind of educated me and gave me the blueprint on how to launch a brand from scratch. And that was John Blackington, who is now part of Rocky Mountain High. And when he came on board about a year ago, we just started talking about FitWhey and where I'm going and what I'm doing and what Rocky Mountain is doing and how potentially FitWhey could fit into RMHB. And that's kind of how the process started, just a personal and business relationship that I had with John that brought me to you.
That's great. We're definitely glad to have you as a part of our team.
Oh, I'm super excited too. You know, Michael, I'll be honest with you, I've kind of been a one-man beverage company. I have one employee here who is now an employee also of RMHB for sales. And so really it was just the two of us that were building and growing this brand. And, you know, when I came into Dallas and met with the whole team and everybody was super nice and super excited about having FitWhey on board, you know, the best part was, you know, when I met with the people in accounting, I can take that hat off. And when I met with the people in marketing, I can take that hat off. And, you know, when I met with, you know, everybody, now I can concentrate on really my strengths. And that is just being the face and the body of the brand and the driving force and passion behind the brand and really getting out and selling and growing this brand to where we all know it can be now that we have a team behind it and I'm no longer a one or two man beverage company.
So you recently completed an inventory production run, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And now you have your inventory back up on your drinkfitway.com website.
That is correct.
Correct. And you're working with our Amazon partner. There's your Drink Fitway website. Suddenly it covered your face.
It's a better look, trust me. That's why I'm not on the website.
It's a great website, by the way.
Yeah, so thank you. As you can see, so right there, they scrolled over the bottle on the right is the caffeine-free version.
Okay.
The 4 bottles with the white labels are all the caffeine versions.
Right.
And then that's the one right there that I designed and created for the kids. Okay. And yeah, you're correct. We had a production date in August. We took delivery last week. We produced a little over 5,000 cases of FitWhey, and that is really to restock the current distribution that we have in Arizona.
Right.
We're in some major retailers in the state of Arizona. We're in QT or Quick Trip. There's 105 locations in Arizona. We're in all 105 locations. We're in Sprouts Farmers Market. There's 35 Arizona locations. We're in all of those. And those are both national brands. So they're using the Arizona division sort of as a test. As our numbers grow, we can expand and grow across the country strategically with both of those brands, QT and Sprouts. Next week, we start delivering to 24, they're called Bashas. It's the longest running family-owned grocery store in Arizona. They've been around since the 40s, I think. And we're launching a floor wire rack into 24 of their locations. We're probably in 50 gyms and supplement stores throughout Arizona. And then, you know, once again, the nice part about being with RMHB is that now we have the ability to expand. With you guys being headquartered in Dallas, it's just and being in the Southwest, it's just an easy transition for us to start to move into the Texas market as well.
Right. And I know we're making efforts to make that happen right now. So we're looking forward to that. So
yeah, me too. I can't wait to to expand the brand, to let people live life the fit way outside of Arizona and experience them for themselves. As you said, it is available today on drinkfitway.com. We have on our social media, everything's at Drink FitWhey, FITWHEY. And on our social media, we're promoting now a discount code. The code is FREE10, FREE, the number 10, and that'll give you 10% off. And it's free shipping as well.
Great, great. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add today, Erik? You've shared a lot of information with everyone, and we definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys. I'm super excited about being part of the team. I'm super excited about the products that you have outside of FitWhey, and I'm part of the whole Rocky Mountain High brands organization, and really looking forward to growing FitWhey. People who try it like it. I always say, anytime I do a sampling event, I always say pleasantly surprised. And that seems to always be the overwhelming theme, that people are pleasantly surprised by the taste. And I'm just really looking forward to our future.
Well, so are we. So thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Take care, Erik.
You guys as well.
All right. Bye-bye. Well, thank you for joining us for today's episode. We look forward to talking to you next week.